Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to R Squared Technology. I'm your host Ryan, and let's get ready to SolidWorks. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you've been making it through the week okay. And if you're just starting out, well, terribly sorry for you. Today's tutorial, as always, will be working from the book, The Beginner's Guide to SolidWorks 2022 Level 1. Link in the description below where you can pick up a copy of the book to follow along. And you'll want a copy to be able to get the model that you see on the screen here. I did not draw this, but I am not providing a link to it. Gotta get the book to get that. So, with that, we'll be picking up on page 271, section 11.1, where we'll be doing thread feature. So, with that, let's begin. Alright, starting on page 271, section 11.1, about the top of the page-ish, there's a brief description here of what's going on with this model and the color coordination. Here the blue is going to be a 1/4 20 minor diameter, the green is a 1/4 20 major diameter, and the pink hole is a 1/4 20 minor diameter. With that, we are now going to enter into the feature thread. And to do so, we're going to do it a little different than going into the Features tab here. From any of the tabs, you can still navigate up here to Insert. Then you can choose Features, and then choose Thread. Now at the bottom of the page here, it talks about two different methods for creating a thread. One being an extrude, and the other one being a cut. So if you go to page 272, just at the very top there are two examples showing the left one is the extrude method and the right one is the cut method. So from here we're going to start with the extrude method in section 11.2. So since we are doing the extrude method first, we're going to be using the blue cylinder here. And we're going to select this top edge here. Now that's going to, from here we're going to change a couple of things in the properties. The first thing is we're going to make sure that the end condition is blind. Our distance is 0.375. Our type is inch tap. Our size is 1/4 20, so we'll come down here and we're going to choose 1/4 20. Thread method is going to be extruded thread. It's going to then be a right-handed thread here. And you should see a partial preview as such. It's not the banana yellow preview you're used to. It's slightly different. And that's going to take us to the top of page 273, where we can click OK, hit Control S, we'll rebuild the document, and we'll do a space bar. And we're going to bring it to a front view for a moment, and then zoom it out a little bit so you can see what has been created here. So the thread major diameter, as you can see, matches the major diameter of the green cylinder here, which is highlighted in section 11.3 on page 273. But from here, we're now going to go into section 11.3 on page 273. Now, going on to section 11.3, at the middle of page 273, we're now going to do the cut version of a thread into our green cylinder here. So we can click the space bar and bring it isometric. And then from here, I'm going to go the other route and choose the Features tab, and then come over here under the Hole Wizard from the drop down and choose Thread that way. Again, a number of different ways to get there. Now a lot of our settings are already saved from the last thread we made. So we'll only have to change a few things on this. So again, we'll select this edge here. And then in the properties down here, we're going to choose inch die and make sure this is set to cut thread. And another thing we're going to do, which is going to take us from page 273 over to the top and middle of page 274, is we're going to create an offset with this cut, which is going to, as the book calls it, true to life, the thread. So up here, we're going to choose offset, and then we're going to make it 0.040. And then we're going to switch to where you can see the partial preview is above that. And what it does, you can see from the illustrations in the middle of page 274 what the difference is if we had the offset, which I can show you as well. So if we unselect the offset, and real quickly we'll click OK, and I'm just going to scroll with the mouse wheel here, you can see how the cut is done and it stops here. But if I go over to the features tree and I edit that, and we add that offset of 0.040, and then click OK, you can now see how it cuts practically all the way through on this part. So that is going to be a minor and a major diameter, so an extruded versus a cut type thread. And now we'll move on to section 11.4 on page 274, where we're going to do a thread in this cylinder here. So I'll bring the space bar and isometric and Control S to save our progress so far. Alright, to finish this up, we're going to do an internal minor diameter thread here in the pink cylinder. So again, either insert features thread, or from the features tab, drop down arrow of the hole wizard, choose thread. And based on our previous condition, we should still have the 1/4 selected, but up here we're going to choose this edge here of the cylinder. We're going to make sure that we have an offset of 0.040, shift it to the outside, and then we want the end condition of the other side to be up to selection. We're going to choose this backside here, and with an offset as well. We're going to come down here and make sure that it is inch tap, 1/4, cut thread, right-handed thread in our properties here. We have our partial preview, and then we're going to click OK. And then from here we can hit Control S, rebuild and save, hit the spacebar, bring it isometric for a moment, and that brings us to the page 275. So what they want us to do here, just to kind of observe how all of these major and minor diameters line up, is we'll go spacebar top view, and then we will bring it into a view of hidden lines visible. And you can see how the thread's major diameter meets up with the threads of the internal cylinder as well as the minor cylinder here. So that is going to complete the basic thread tutorial. I hope you learned something. Stay tuned next Friday, where we are going to learn about sweep when we create a bottle. That is all I have for you this evening. Take care, and I will see you next time.